Hey everyone, it's Guri here from the EDC Junkie. Haven't done a video in a while, but I wanted to share with you a flashlight that I got a couple weeks ago and have been using a lot since then. It's a very high value light, fairly affordable, not the cheapest of lights, but also not so cheap, you know, in the 20 and under range that you see on Amazon, and you have a lot of Chinese knockoffs that don't perform. It's the Jetbeam BC40-GT. It's the newest model in their BC40 range. This one has the turbo head. As you can see, that's the BC40-GT. And this is the packaging it came with. The Jetbeam packaging is really simple. One thing I like is this this clamshell packaging isn't fused together. You just basically take it and it pops open just like that. No annoying scissors, no cutting yourself, none of the frustration, super easy open packaging. Thank you, Jetbeam. That's awesome. You can see they display a little bit of the specs back here. We'll discuss those in a minute. And just to show you what it comes with, we have a very basic but decent quality Jetbeam lanyard. I don't really use that. You have a replacement switch boot here and two spare O-rings, one for near the head of the light and one near the tail cap. If you do purchase this from the link on Amazon below where I got mine, you'll get a nice Jetbeam light for your keychain. Very blue tint to that LED, but it's useful if you're gonna approach your door at night or something like that. So that's a cool little extra. Has a little silica gel pack, so it keeps the moisture from attacking the light while it's in storage or shipment. You get a warranty card from Jetbeam, which you can fill out. You also get some additional paperwork that the product has passed Jetbeam's quality inspection, and of course you get a operation manual from Jetbeam, which is sort of in English. It's not 100% easy to read English, but it's easy enough to understand. So anyway, that's what comes in the packaging, so we'll set that aside for now and get to the light. So the light is approximately the same size as a Maglite ML25LT. It is 221.6 millimeters long according to Jetbeam's dimensions here. It is 55 millimeters wide at the head of the light here and 25.8 millimeters wide along the body tube of the light. So this is a really high value light. It's only $65, which is amazing for the amount of light and the quality that you get. The machining here is very nicely done. The anodizing is very nice. You can see the head of the light, everything meets properly. The edges around the head here are rounded, so they're not sharp. You have a nice deep reflector there, and you can see it's got a pretty heavy orange peel with obviously an XHP 50 LED down on the bottom there. So it's going to be a decent thrower, but it's also going to have enough spill for you to see your surroundings. So it's not really a dedicated thrower light, but it's definitely good in both areas, both throw and flood. Now this light advertises a turbo mode of 2,750 lumens, and according to Jetbeam, that'll get you approximately 2.6 hours of runtime if you're using 3.7 volt 3400 milliamp hour 18650s. The light takes two of them, and obviously if you're using lights or batteries that have other specifications, different capacities, different brands, things like that, you may get a little bit different runtime. The high mode, which is the next step down from turbo, is 1,817 lumens for 4.4 hours. The middle mode is 592 lumens for 8 hours, and the low mode is 100 lumens for 65 hours. So if you need to use this during a power outage or something like that, you're going to be very pleased with the amount of light you get and the amount of time if you do need to drop to that 65 hour 100 lumen mode. The throw on this light is advertised as approximately 347 meters under obviously ideal conditions. I tested it and that's approximately accurate. Obviously you'll get, the closer you get, you'll have a lot more usable light in that range. That might be the maximum, but it certainly isn't the most usable range for that. The peak beam intensity is advertised as 30,200 candela, which is very, very bright. It's drop resistant to 1 meter and waterproof to IPX8 standards, so you can definitely submerge this. I've tested it, I've submerged it in water. I'm a geologist, I work on a lot of sites that have groundwater and water pits exposed and things like that, and I get this thing stuck in the rain being in South Florida all the time. I've put it underwater and it worked flawlessly in that aspect. So just touring the light here, obviously we talked about the large orange peel reflector. We have a fairly large or decent sized head here. We have some heat reduction fins here to cool the light. The light does get fairly warm, especially on the turbo mode. We have some grip, I don't really want to say crenulations, but just some texture here for some grip, and some grip for helping to take off the tail cap. One thing I do like about the tail cap is it has these large holes here, so if you're planning on using a paracord lanyard or a clip of some kind, it's much easier to attach here than on some other lights. You'll notice the head of the light has a grippy portion here, and that's due to its very interesting user interface, which we'll go through next. So to turn on the light, you have a momentary and push button tail cap, so you can obviously just push it in a little bit for momentary and then push it in all the way for constant on. You can also lock it out. If you turn it over one full turn, obviously you can lock out the tail cap so you won't turn on the light, which is a useful feature. And then if you turn the light on, and Jetbeam advertises this as their gear switching mode, and you basically turn the head, so use that grippy area to turn the head, you'll switch the modes, which is kind of cool. Now in order to switch the modes, you have to do this turning fashion or press the button in a way that is kind of rapid. I've noticed that if you wait several seconds to cycle between modes, the Flashight has a memory so that it remembers the last mode you were in, and it will seem like you're not cycling properly, but in reality you just have to, if you want to cycle through the modes, you have to cycle a little bit rapidly. So right now this is your low mode, and if I turn the light on and off quickly again, it'll turn into turbo, then high, then medium, then low. Now if I wait, it turns into low again. So you see how it has a memory and how you can switch modes. And obviously if we turn the light on, it's in low, turbo, high, medium, low again. So now I'm going to cut away to some beam shots on the wall here. I'm going to turn all the lights off and you guys can see what this looks like in the dark. Hopefully it comes out easy to see for you guys. This is the low mode. I'm going to cycle to turbo. Okay, now we're on the 2750 lumen turbo mode. You can see it's very, very bright. This is the high, medium, and low again. This is your 100 lumen at 65 hour mode. Okay, so that was some beam shots in the dark for the Jetbeam BC40-GT. Honestly, for 65 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong. I think you can spend a lot more money on more expensive lights that do almost the same thing. I think for 65 bucks you're getting a really great value, much better than if you spent money, let's say, on a ThruNite or Thor Firelight. I think you're getting a lot better machining quality. As you can see, the threads are fairly quiet on the light. Everything is very nicely machined. In the tail cap there, fairly strong, large, beefy spring. I'm actually using NCR 18650Bs from Panasonic. The head comes off nice and smoothly as well. So you can tell that Jetbeam engineered a lot of quality machining into this light. And you can see the base of the head there. Honestly, I think for 65 bucks you can't go wrong. I would buy one, thrash on it, buy another one if you need it. It's honestly, it's a great light. And if you do want to buy one, click the link below. And if you enjoyed this video or have any other suggestions for future videos or want to see any reviews of any other lights, feel free to contact me, and please subscribe.